Welcome to the demo. We're going to see how to do a proposal summary page. The first thing we want to do is add the LO proposal event, which will be installed on your machine. Indicate who you're dealing with, indicate what kind of entity it is, in this case limited company, what you need to do, and initialize the job by running the workflows. This basically sets up in effect a standard quotation to start with and adds the calculated value. To change this, just click on it, choose this icon here, which to choose logical screens. Now we have a number of screens here where we can tailor the quote. This one is just to indicate the type of books that they're using. It's not actually mandatory, it's just for information purposes. If you want to uplift the quotation by the turnover of the company, you can indicate the turnover here. Let's make this 86 to 100,000. Quality of books we'll say is excellent. Again, an uplift can be applied. These two are optional uplifts. You don't need to fill in these fields. And the only reason you need to fill in number of employees is if you're going to do payroll. There are 3 payrolls, one yellow, green and purple, just to make them stand out so you don't get them confused. We can make that 12 employees on a 4-weekly payroll with a variable input. So save that screen. Always save at the bottom right, the top save key after you've changed the screen you're working on. If you do move around without saving, you won't get the information you need. Now the next tab along is the services we're providing based on our standards which have been set up. And here we can, for example, put in the accounts value annually, confirmation statements. We didn't put a VAT amount in, we'll charge them 150 a quarter, P11Ds annually, and so on. Let's take out, let's say they don't want management accounts, we can make it not applicable. You can make the charges monthly, annually, quarterly, not applicable, or just initially as a one-off charge. For example, setting up the system or changing over. In this case, we've set up a service 1 as a 0 take-on amount of £500 as an initial only charge. And for the payroll, let's say we're going to charge them £100 a month as the base price, plus an uplift per employee, which is determined by our standard tables. Once we're happy with that, we can actually create a quotation by just choosing a quote now from our options tab, either itemized or not. I'll choose itemized, save it, run the workflows. The workflow will actually produce the quotation. The workflow will tell us what it's doing. It's writing the documents, calculating the new totals, updating the prices screen. And during the setup, we can indicate whether we want the event that's created, the amount to be either a monthly amount if we work on a monthly basis, or an annual amount. This is our annual amount, 7347. You'll see that a new Word document has been created. If we preview that, you'll see it on the right. Now, the way it works is we use a table in our templates. The preview will show the grid lines, but if we actually edit the table, then you'll see there are no grid lines. To remove the spurious lines between the totals at the bottom, just highlight them, hit the backspace key, not the delete key, but the backspace key. Then we've got a nice page. Now, when you're setting up the template, you can obviously put pages before and after this summary page, and then you can build a whole proposal with the pricing built into it. You can change these descriptions, and they're all optional, but it's really very easy to get a total figure here in a few seconds, which you can then use to quote the customer. Now, once you've done that, you continue to do it. You can go back, you can adjust the pricing. You might say, well, I think it's a bit much. Maybe I'll go to my totals and actually turn off the uplifts for the moment just to see what difference that makes. The uplifts, by the way, they only up, that's a 1.00, that's not going to have any effect anyway. This one adds 450, so we're going to knock that out and maybe try without that to produce a quote. So I'll indicate I want another quote, save it, run the workflows. Always save and run the workflows. Use the uppermost save first. And you'll see it's writing a new document, and our price should be a bit lower this time because we're not uplifting turnover, which will only uplift the accounts value of all the various pricing. So there we are, 6924. It's a little bit less, and if we preview what it's produced, we'll see it's the lower figure. Now, once the client says yes, let's go ahead, what we can do is change the status on the event to onboarding or follow-up. Changing it to follow-up, just an indicator for any event listings of what the status of the job is. If we go to onboard, on the other hand, and we save and run the workflows, implying the client has ordered, you'll see it's created all the events for us. It's going to put those on file with the appropriate figures, and those are going to be the figures related to whether it's annual or monthly, saving us a bit of time taking the client on board. Later on we can go back, re-propose next year if we want by creating another version of the same one, or we can just leave it at that. Hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoy using it. Any questions, just let us know. Thank you.